We're going to have some fun. Today we're going to be talking about the secret to making faster money in your business. And I'm excited about today's session, just like I'm excited about a lot of our sessions, is because there's a secret. There is a secret that's being kept from you, and we're gonna share what that is on today's session. So what's good, my IG fam? Good to see you. If this is your first time joining me, what I do is I'm a coach, and I work with new coaches, and I help new coaches and speakers build their business from 0 to 6 figures. If you ever rock with me in any of my programs, typically what I'll help people do is get to 5K recurring a month in their business, and then I help them go from 5K per month, and I help them scale to 6 figures. So that is what I do. All right, love it. All right, so let's jump in. So what is really the secret to making money faster? One of the things that I've noticed, and we talked about this in previous live at fives, is that when your mindset is in a place that it's going to remove the limitations, and it's going to allow you to, when you have the right mindset, it's going to allow you to take different actions. Different mindset means different motivations, or high level mindset means a high level of motivation. A high level mindset means that you're going to feel more confident in what you do, and your self-esteem raises. And with that self-esteem raising, that means that you're going to take more action, and the more action you take, the better results that you'll get over time if you're learning. And I'm gonna tell you what the secret key to that is, right? And then the more action you take, the more that you learn, right? And learning is one thing to learn something, and it's a whole nother thing to have wisdom. Wisdom means that you've actually took what you've learned and you applied it, so now you have personal experience. Does that make sense? So you want to have learning coupled with wisdom, and the more that you have that, which means that you're learning, you're doing, you're learning, you're doing, you're learning, you're doing, and that is gonna the more you do that, the more that you're going to you're going to get the desired result that you want. And in our case, we're talking business. So what does that mean specifically? There's a linchpin from everything that I just said, because there's a lot of people that we know that do a lot of that do a lot of action, but they're not doing the right action, right? And then we have people who are just doing that. They think all day, but they're not taking action. I think this is the way. I think this is what I should do. I'm thinking. I'm pondering. I'm not ready yet. I'm a perfectionist. I'm formulating a plan. I'm preparing. I'm getting ready, and they get in the perpetual cycle of just thinking and thinking and thinking. So. And I know I've been both, right? And if this is you, put, yeah, that's me below, right? Be real. Put that's me. Whether you either in think mode and you're not in action mode, or you're one of those people who are in action mode, but you're not really intentional or thinking much. You're just kind of just hustling and bustling and doing it, but you're not getting the results, but you're taking action. If you're one of those, put that's me below in the chat. And I'm going to share with you what the linchpin is, and I'm gonna draw my little board here in a second. Now, this is what's important about this whole conversation. If you really want to take your game to the next level, you want to start generating money faster, what is really going to come down to, let me write this on my little board here. What is really going to come down to, you really need to find proven, and I talked about this a little bit the other day, but this is key because we're going to go deeper. You really need to find proven strategies. Proven strategies. Now, where do proven strategies come from? Right? Proven strategies. Right? Proven strategies come from people who have achieved results. Right? Proven strategies come from people who have achieved results. So your goal is you want to start finding people who have proven, not theory, people who have proven, and is very evident. That's what's so important about social media today, because you can make it very evident. It's evident to see. based on testimonials, based on what people are showing, based on if you follow people in different places. There's a lot of ways You can't really hide too much on social media. People say that you can, but trust me, if somebody wants to find out things about you, they can find out things about you, right? And they can find out who you really are, and you can find out who's a fraud, and you can find out who's not a fraud, right? So think about it. So it's results, right? But let me tell you that in order to find proven, and this is really the deep dark secret right here. In order to get proven strategies, you need to find somebody who got results. And in order to find somebody who got results and learn from what they have, you need access. Write that down. You need access. This is the key right here. You need access. One of the biggest issues, not even one of the biggest issues, the biggest issue that I see a lot of coaches and speakers that they suffer with is that they're doing a bunch of things that they think is right. And that used to be me. Instead of finding somebody who has proven results, getting access to to somebody who has proven results, or at least get access to their training that have proven results. And this is key. And the reason I'm saying that is, if you can't afford coaching right now, you need to find a way to get somebody's course. If you can't afford a course, you need to find a way to get somebody's book. If you can't afford the book, you better be gobbling up all of their training. And the more you pay, typically, the deeper level of insight, the deeper level of access, the deeper level of community, depending on who you go with or what the type of program it is, right? And the deeper level of content that you get. You feel what I'm saying? On social media, you might only get a few minutes with somebody, and that might not be enough because you got questions. It might not be enough because you don't really understand how this fits into your market, or this fits into the audience, or this fits into the topic, or this fits into what you want to do. What does that really look like? So in order to go to the next level, and this is what I did over the years, is that I started finding people who had results in certain areas that I wanted to have results in. And we know this. We know this to be true because if you see somebody who has the body you want, you'll typically go to that person and say, hey, what did you do? Are you a trainer? Can you help me? You see somebody who got the hair that you want, right? Or you see somebody who do, makeup, and I'm saying that because I know there's a lot of women on right now, right? You see somebody who has makeup, the type of, they faces beat, or you see somebody who's dressed fly, or they have a certain kind of swag, or whatever the case is. You're typically, if you're humble, right? In this case, in this scenario, you might go to them and ask them, wow, how did you get like that? How did you snap back after pregnancy? How did you get your body like that? Or how did you, get your makeup like that, or your hair like that? Or how did you build your business to 6 figures? How are you getting clients on a consistent basis? How are you getting leads on a consistent basis? How are you so confident when you delivering your speeches? Or are you confident in training people? How are you so confident speaking in front of people? How are you so confident speaking on camera? So when I started this industry like 6 years ago, I came out, and the issue that I had was doing a bunch of things that I thought was right. Right, Coach Stella says facts, right? So appreciate that. So I was doing a bunch of things that I thought was right, and so my first, so for some of y'all new, right? It's your first time joining me. So I went to HBCU. I went to Virginia State University. That's like south of Richmond, and I went through, graduated college, did my bachelor's. My bachelor's in computer engineering. My master's was in project management. I graduated shortly after college. I was making 6 figures, making some great money, right, in corporate America. And years later, I look back and I realized a lot of my fraternity brothers, I realized a lot of my friends, they either A, didn't graduate, or B, they graduated, but they didn't get into the career field. And I started looking around like, wow, like y'all paying a lot of money for college. How are you not getting into your field? So my first crack at this industry was where I called myself college development coach. I'm a college development coach. And what I do is I'm gonna help you have a great time in college. I'm gonna help you get good grades, and I'm gonna help you get into the career field of your dreams. Not necessarily making 6 figures, but at least get into what you went to school for. So that was my first crack at this industry. I had an issue. I did not go to school for business. I didn't know anything about business outside of I did a network marketing company, but I had this dream and I had this vision that I wanted to help college students, and so I went out and I just started doing a bunch of things that I thought was right, which is where we start off, right? And I talk about progress over perfection, but I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you where you need to make improvements. So I started doing things, and for like a year and a half, maybe a year and a half to between a year and a half and a year and 2 years, I was just struggling, hustling, trying to get coaching clients, trying to speak, trying to get on stages, trying to get known, trying to just help people. Nobody was getting results. I wasn't getting on stages like that outside of maybe the few teachers that I knew that would let me speak in front of their class, right? And this is well after I graduated college. I went back to my same school, and I wasn't generating any kind of revenue. I was nowhere near six figures. I think maybe my first year in business, I might have made a couple $100. Like, to keep it real, like that's how bad it was. And I was so frustrated that I almost quit just doing this industry, period. I'm like, I see people coaching, I see people speaking, but this is not for me. Little did I know, I love doing this. But I almost quit because I did not have the right strategy. So I was spinning my wheels for a long time, just doing things that I thought was right. And it almost took me out of the game, because who wants to keep banging their head against a wall over and over and over and over and over? You keep banging your head against the wall, doing the wrong thing and not getting any results from it. Who wants to do that? Nobody wants to do that, right? As you know, nobody wants to do that. So I almost quit. And let me tell you how this is relevant. This is relevant to a lot of coaches and speakers that I speak to on a daily basis. Is that they keep just doing random things, and they're trying to win. Write this down. This is how they're trying to win. They're trying to win by what we call T&E. You might have heard of it before. What does T&E? What does T&E stand for? Right? What does T&E stand for? I feel like I'm spelling this wrong, but this is a lot of new folks are trying to win by trial and error. This is how they're trying to win, by trial and error. And it's going to take you a long time. It might not even happen while you're alive. It's going to take you a long time if you're trying to succeed in life, in business and in life, even in life. If everything you're doing is through trial and error, you can literally shortcut this path by getting access to somebody who's already been where you've been or achieved what you've already achieved, and following their process. And you can mix up the process. You can do whatever you want after you start getting results. But it's very important that you figure out what is the process that's working, and let me work on that, and let me work that process. That's why we said access is so key. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, go ahead and put make sense in the chat. Put make sense in the chat for me, because this is key. Like, this is key. Haley, what up? What up? The Art of Conversations was good. Higher Conscious, good to see you. Cherie Loams, what is it? Cherie Lames, I think, right? Sure Lames. Oh, Sure Lames. I feel like I'm saying your name wrong, but was good. Jesse says backwards. So, trial and error. So, don't build your business by trial and error. So, let me tell you what changed. What changed was I went from doing everything myself, doing things that I thought was right, to finding people that mastered certain areas that I wanted to master, or I wanted to at least get more proficient in. Even if they weren't the best in the world at it, I would, if they were a few steps ahead of me, they're still farther than where I'm at. So that gave me, I said, okay, well, let me seek out those people. Let me seek out that knowledge, and let me implement. Because guess what? As much as, I don't know if anybody ever told you this, but as much as I would love to sit here and say everything that you learn of be enough for you to succeed, beyond your wildest imagination, but beyond your wildest dream, you can learn your way there. There's still gonna be a percentage of it missing, because there's going to be a certain level of growth that's only gonna happen through your own experience. And it took me a long time to realize that. I think I can learn everything and be perfect, and it wasn't until I realized I'm still gonna have a gap in my development, in my income, in my profit, in my business, even in my life, until I actually started doing it. You cannot be the best at what you do if all you do is learn and you're not actually implementing. So with that, and then I'll take a question, and then I'm gonna share with you what I'm getting ready to give you. We go over a couple minutes today. So this is the moral of what today's story is. Get access, right? Like, get access to somebody who has proven results. Like, if you tune into me, if you like my vibe, if you like, how we communicate, if you like, you like how I deliver, you like how I explain things, rock with me. You know what I mean? Like, rock what I got things available that you can tap into, whether it's coaching or whether it's online programs or whatever. But access is key, and that's why I kept progressing. Like, somebody was asking, some people were asking, like, do I invest in coaching? Hell yeah, yes. I would never ask anybody else to invest in me if I wasn't even investing in coaching. You feel what I'm saying? Or I wasn't investing in online programs. I was talking to my accountant for taxes, and he was like, do you know you spent over $80,000 on like consultation, like / coaching services? And I mean everything from $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 programs a pop that I've been paying for, to I'm in one coaching, I'm in one mastermind that off the back is like 10 grand, right? A year. Just everything that I've been like paying for and investing for, like in my business and in learning. And the reason why I feel comfortable doing that, yes, my business can afford it, right? So that's coming out of the business. But the reason why I feel comfortable doing that is because I understand that that's shortcutting the process for me. So I'm not saying that you can't learn on your own and get there, but do you really want to take 5 years? Do you really want to take 10 years to try to learn something that you can literally learn in like 6 months, that you can learn in 90 days? You really want to do that? Or do you want to have access, right? Do you want to have access that's going to allow you to learn faster so you can get faster results?